Veteran Cincinnati journalist Clyde Gray has announced his next act, and it turns out he'll still be involved in local media circles. Gray has opened a public relations consulting firm called CGA Public Relations Strategies with partner Zoe Wesson, who serves as Chief Creative Officer and Vice President of Video Production. The company's office is in Sims Township. Gray left WCPO-TV Channel 9 in August after 24 years. His career in news spans 37 years, 33 of which have been in Cincinnati. Clyde joins Business Courier publisher Jamie Smith in the studio. Guys.
Thanks, Peg. Clyde, thanks so much for being here today.
Happy to be here, Jamie.
It's truly an honor to be interviewing you on TV.
Well, thank you.
Let's start off by your new company, CGA and Associates. Why that route, and tell me a little bit about it.
CGA Public Relations Strategies began actually as a desire to get into the construction industry, and a friend of mine who was very kind-hearted pulled me off to the side and said, "What do you know about construction? What you know about is media, and that's where you ought to be focusing your efforts." And so as time went by, we started to push into this area, and so here we are.
Okay, so you're staying in the media world. Obviously, you know, a lot is changing in the media world. You know, veterans like yourself and Kit retiring, and just the change in media itself. I mean, you're looking, you know, the Cincinnati Enquirer made an announcement this week. They're making some big changes. You know, we ourselves at the Courier, because of the digital world, we've changed a lot. Sure. Tell me what you think about that. How do you see today's media landscape?
I see it in a variety of different ways. It's some because of my perspective and time in the business, and some just as an outsider looking in now. What I think's going on is there's just this tremendous revolution in how people get information, how they consume information, and the audience is changing as well. I represent the baby boomers, which was a big population bubble and which was raised on the legacy media, newspapers, radio, and TV. The generations coming along behind us aren't quite as loyal to those legacy media, and so the media themselves are now trying to figure out how to get that new audience to come and put its eyeballs on the TV screen, or now ever more increasingly the computer screen.
Absolutely.
Then you've got all of the things going on in the economy that push companies, that exert pressure on companies to reduce as much overhead expense as possible. And as we all know, the biggest overhead is the people who work there. So as time goes by, as you get those economic pressures, and last but not least, as the technology changes, because now the cameras that in television people carry can be fairly small. In fact, the little GoPro you can hold in your hand like this. All those things are bringing about some of the changes you're seeing.
Absolutely. Now, I know you're not from Cincinnati. Been here a long time, so it kind of makes you almost a native. Why keeping your business in Cincinnati? Why not going back home or going to another market, a larger market?
Well, Cincinnati knows me and I know Cincinnati, and in Cincinnati people understand that I've had some history in media, and so my hope is that that becomes a positive for my business. Were I to go to Atlanta, I would be one of many. So Cincinnati is just, look, Cincinnati is home. At the end of the day, it's home, and that's where I wanted to start.
Absolutely. Well, tell me, what's been the biggest one change or the hardest to adapt to that you encountered over your time with media, with TV?
It was probably the contraction of the labor force in the newsroom. It's just the newsroom got larger, not because its physical space expanded, but it got larger because there were fewer people working in newsrooms these days. And, you know, people always relate to people even in the workplace, and so losing people in that newsroom environment was kind of a stressful thing, kind of a strain.
Well, it's good to know that you're still going to be in the industry, and if you ever miss being on the screen, you give me a buzz, and I'll make sure you get back on this show.
Okay, folks, you heard it. I'm going to hold you to it.
Well, listen, I wish you a lot of luck. Thank you so much for being here today.
I appreciate it.
All right.